Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining in on the call. Yeah, I think we can start now. We're kind of waiting for people to, come in, but we can kickstart. Thank you all so much for joining. Please confirm if you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me see thumbs up or a wave. I would also need that from my fellow presenters on the call. Thumbs up, wave. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for taking out time. I know out of your busy schedules to join us today in this particular conversation. So let's get right into it without wasting much of our time. Please, my fellow presenters or speakers that will be engaging in today's conversation, just turn on your cameras so our audience can start familiarizing themselves with your faces. I can see Ayomide is already doing that. Thank you so much, Ayomide. We need more faces. Thank you, Abidemi. More faces, just to ensure, we hit this off right. Thank you so much, Mr. Jason. All right, so we'll just go ahead and start. I will start with the welcome address. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Good afternoon once again. My name is Gabriela Igbo, and I am the Product Marketing Manager here at SeerBit. This webinar is brought to you by SeerBit and Excite Financial. Excite Financial is one of our partners that have, stood with us through time, and we are very, very happy and pleased to have you guys today. So I'll just do a little intro about both companies that are on the call today, and I will be speaking to you just so you understand who we are, what we are about, and how we can, impact knowledge to you this evening. So most importantly, this conversation is going to be very interactive and is going to be super, super impactful. So I'm very happy that you've joined us here today. So who is SeerBit, right? SeerBit is a financial technology platform powering payments across multiple value chains, across multiple industries, both online and offline. So as a business, at the end of it, you are looking to collect value. And what is that value? Payments. You are looking for your customers to make payments. Money is involved one way or another. And SeerBit is that institution or that infrastructures that enables that happen across multiple value chains. We work across various sectors, various industries, manufacturing, FMCG, supply chain, retail and e-commerce, education, travel and hospitality, just to mention we power payments across these multiple value chains. And if you check our website, you will see that we have so many industries and so many brands that trust us that we have helped to, achieve this. But at the core of it, we pride ourselves in helping businesses to simplify collection, track and reconcile while they're also managing payments. Right, that is what we do as a business. So this means that businesses can move from fragmented payment processes and manual reconciliation to a more connected and efficient operation. And today we will be sharing this with you. We are going to share with you how to translate this into real business value, particularly for businesses managing complex payment systems and supply chain operation. So thank you once again for joining us. So that is a bit about SeerBit. So now I'll move to Excite, right? I'm pleased to, and we are very honored at SeerBit to have Excite Financial as one of our partners and to have them join us on this call, right? So Excite is a leading supply chain technology and system integration company, helping businesses across sub-Saharan Africa improve efficiency, visibility, and profitability. With over 10 years of experience, spanning across 50 clients, 270-something plus implementations across multiple countries, Excite delivers technology across areas, including route to market automation, transport and warehouse management, Salesforce automation, and AI-powered logistics, business intelligence, and digital solutions. So in order not to, get more, as our speakers come on board, right, you get to familiarize yourself more with the value that both of, these organizations have to offer. And beyond me just explaining and stating this to you, you will see real life practical examples and use cases, and also a product show along this the course of this call. So just to ensure that we still have people following us, and we still have people that are with us on this call, just give me a wave, give me a thumbs up. You can drop something on the comment section just to say maybe your name, introduce yourself, where you are coming from, the organization, why you joined, just something interactive to ensure that we are all on this call. Thank you so much. I can see thumbs up and so many hands. Okay, thank you guys for joining in. Right, so let's get right into it. I'll be inviting our first speaker, right? Before we go into it, I would just like to create some sort of a brief just a brief intro, right, as to why we are here. So the title of this particular webinar is Collect Faster, Reconcile Smarter, achieving end-to-end financial visibility across your distribution channels, right? And for those of us, I want to believe that most of us here are distributors, or we're in the manufacturing and in the supply chain sector, and you understand how important it is for you to have full visibility into your cash flow, right? And at the end of the day, not just having the visibility, but ensuring that the last leg of it is ready, ensuring that you are able to reconcile, right? And reconciliation is not fragmented, right? And also ensuring that at the end of the day, at the end of every day, your books are audit ready. And that is what we'll be presenting to you. We are ensuring you that at the end of this webinar, you are going to come out with practical steps on how to ensure that your reconciliation is closed on time, theft is avoided, and also your books are audit ready at the end of the day. So without wasting much of our time or giving much away, let me welcome Mr. Jason Essing from Excite. Mr. Jason is a manager, IT projects and operation person at Excite. He has about 8 years experience across multiple industries: fintech, FMCG, real estate, manufacturing, agrotech, oil and gas, and automotive, just to mention a few. He specializes in leading complex IT projects, optimizing operations, aligning technology with business goals, and building high-performing technical teams. So without, that's a lot, Mr. Jason. So we are very happy to have you on the call. That was such a power-packed intro, and we are ready, and we are very, very excited to hear and listen to your wealth of knowledge and how you can impact our audiences today. Thank you, Mr. Jason. Please, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much for that introduction, Gabriela. So I'll be sharing my presentation shortly, and then we can start right off.
All right, Mr. Jason, just give me a moment. My screen will be coming up in a bit. Hi. Please confirm you can see my screen. Great. Okay, over to you, Mr. Jason. Thank you so much.
All right. Collect faster, reconcile smarter, achieving end-to-end financial visibility across your distribution network. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jason Essien. I lead the IT operations and strategy at XI Panacea. At XI Panacea, we specialize in building commercial and technical engines that power enterprise distribution. Over the last 10 decades, we have architected systems across FMCG, fintech, and manufacturing. I've seen firsthand how disconnected technical operations and financial ledgers can paralyze a business. Today, we're going to look at how businesses can bridge that gap and eliminate payment fragmentation and achieve true end-to-end financial visibility. Next slide, please. So, going into the problem, the double challenge of fragmentation and lack of visibility. In the modern day FMCG ecosystem, we have multiple channels of collection. You have cash, bank transfer, POS, even USSD. Now, most of the FMCG businesses have successfully digitized their orders, through quick commerce or e-commerce or even highly specialized SFA applications that facilitate their salesmen generating orders and generating invoices right on the go. However, there's still a gray spot, there's a gray area, which is in reconciliation of these collections for the businesses. Now, you'll find out that a lot of these businesses, at the end of the day, when their salesmen or their agents on the field have collected money in terms of cash, even bank transfers, there's a long process, there's a long and lengthy process in the reconciliation at the back end. You'll find that they're having to send messages to their finance officers or their receivable staff to sort of match payments from a single transaction to multiple invoices and so on and so forth. This can be a bit of a headache, right? And this is challenging for businesses because the measure of a business is or a key metric for measuring the businesses is how smooth your cash flow is, being able to collect as soon as you sell. Move to the next slide, please. Now, in sub-Saharan Africa, we also have the underlying issue of that, yes, we have digital in implementation architecture, right? But at the grassroots, at the retail stores, at the neighborhood stores, transactions are still largely done with cash, right? You find out that when you use cash method, it has a lot of risk that is attached to it. You might experience the issues of cash leakage and you know a lot of things that happen due to unreconciled transactions as at when due. Now, this poses a major problem for businesses because if you look at the point of doing the bank transfer to the to looking at your bank statements where you can barely um, align what transaction is for a particular sale to the human toll of having to sort through all these transactions. And then at the end of the day, you find out that there is a lot of data that is unreconciled, and you have a lot of issues in trying to, keep up to date and have these things in order. Next slide, please. The impact of this fragmentation, right, can be broken down into five broad categories. You have what we call delayed reconciliation. You find out that, okay, a money has been paid by a customer 2 days ago, but when you log into your ERP and you check your financial ledgers or journals, there are no transactions registered for this customer. You have your credit holds that happen. You have a credit limit with a customer. This customer is up to date on their payments, but because there have been no reconciliations at the back end, you're having to delay delivery of goods to these customers, and that can sort of cause a lot of friction at the business end. You also have delayed replenishment. This um, funnels back to what I was saying about cash flow. You need to be able to get your money from your sales in order to go back and restock from your suppliers. So you find out that this now ultimately ends in stockouts and lost sales. Stockouts in the sense that you're not able to replenish from your supply end, and lost sales in the sense that when there are a lot of delays from the business end, customers tend to look for alternatives, and ultimately you might lose the confidence of that customer. Next slide, please. Now, what is the consequence of this invisibility? If we link it to certain macroeconomic factors, you would see that we have the issue, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, we have the issue of FX volatility. In F24, companies reported about 1.3 billion in losses due to FX volatility. You also have structural overhead. A lot of businesses, especially in the FMCG space, burn a lot of money in keeping their operations running. And then you'll find out that at the root of it, 70 to 90% of this FMCG volume goes to the grassroots, goes to the neighborhood stores, goes to the open market. For you to be able to survive in such an economy, such a business scape, you need to be as frugal as you can with your collections, because what you're dealing with in the FMCG space is high volume, low margin. So your ability to sell as quickly as possible and recoup your money as quickly as such is very vital to you surviving the harsh business scape. Next slide, please. Now, looking at the solution, right? We look at how connecting road to market directly sinks into settlement rails. Now, imagine a scenario where, as your salesman or as your marketing agent is creating an invoice to a customer, once the customer does a transfer to an account that has been provided by the business, your ERP or your financial ledgers automatically get that alert. There is zero human interference in this process. You find out that at the end of the day, you don't even have to go out and look at what your sales guys are doing. You know where the money is coming from. You know where the transactions are being are coming in bulk, or where the transactions are falling behind. You have full visibility to where the money is and how the money is coming in. This is very vital for businesses. It is vital because if you're able to collect faster, if you're able to reconcile smarter, you can pivot to other things. You can look at your orders. You can plan, okay, if I'm looking at a solution that shows me where most of my sales are coming from on a map, I can decide that, okay, since I'm getting enough sales from here, I need to do more marketing in this area. You can also look at your inventory planning or your supply planning. You know that from the behavior, from the payment pattern of your customers, you would need to replenish your stock, or you need to hold a lot of stock for a particular season. So this gives you a lot more visibility, apart from solving what you need to do at the collection and the reconciliation, and it opens the business up to make more data-driven decisions that would ultimately lead to the expansion and the proliferation of the business. What this gives us is an actionable intelligence that is end-to-end. It gives you that insight that, okay, as of today, this is what I have in my inventory, and this is the cash flow that I would be expecting at the end of the day. So having this in place would give you the required insights that you need to run your business and scale it to the next level. Next slide, please. Now, collecting faster and reconciling smarter is just the first stage of it. After you're able to collect faster and reconcile smarter, you can now forecast better. You are able to allocate with confidence. You're able to say, okay, you can make financial plans for your businesses for the next 5, 10 years with the confidence that you have a back-end engine that is able to sustain your scale, that is able to help you grow. In high velocity FMCG distribution and moving inventory, there is only one way for you to have complete control, which is real-time financial visibility across your network. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jason, for that very impactful session. Please, do we have any questions? We have about 2 minutes to quickly take questions before we move to the next thrilling and also insightful section. Any questions in the house? Let me see. Just raise your hands.
Thank you, Mr. Jason, for the wonderful presentation. Yeah, I've been listening to my name is Taiwo from SeerBit. I've been listening to your presentation. I have this question. Now, business environment, we have a dynamic business environment in the case of Nigeria. And with this solution that you just spoke about, then I begin to look at it. Let's assume 10 years ago, that's 2016, we have this solution. And based on what you explained, that we can use it to forecast the years to come, how is it going to be? And looking at that, at the data then, can we say that based on what you said, with other factors that are surrounding the environment, the uniqueness of Nigeria environment, do you think that the forecast we made then in 10 years ago will be the reality of what we are currently experiencing now in the business, as a business? So how are we going to factor in the reality? When you explained, you said coming up with this product and what the solution, what it can help us to do. So I now begin to imagine that. Can that actually give us like the true figure of our forecasting against the reality? That's my question.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. That is a fantastic question. So yes, um, the short answer is, of course, when you're doing forecasting, you have to consider a lot of variables, right? And I mean, we're currently in the age of AI that has streamlined a lot of forecasting principles to give you that as long as you have a dependable data source, you are able to predict as much as possible. Coincidentally, Excite has an AI product, right, that sort of looks at all the data points across the business, right, taking into cognizance the macroeconomic factors and can give you not a perfect, but a close to perfect outlook of how things would come. So this would always be updated by the current macroeconomic landscape of the country. A lot of things that can happen that are beyond the control of the common man. But if you're able to use this solution alongside something that gives you that enterprise overview, definitely you can forecast what would happen in the next few years and accurately. Thank you for that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Taiwo, for that question. And thank you, Jason, for answering Taiwo. We can only take one more person. And then there'll be time for question and answer at the end of this. So let me just unmute Adeni. Okay, Adeni, please, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jason, for the presentation. My question would be, what do you see as the biggest obstacle to FMCG companies trying to achieve a single reliable view for their collections? What would you see as the biggest obstacle for FMCG companies trying to achieve a single reliable view of their collections?
Thank you for that, Adeni. That is a very interesting question, and it makes me think a bit. So what I would say from my experience, right, that would be the single thing would be risk, right? Having the right partners to take you through this your growth journey. Moving from manual processes to automated or digitized processes are not easier said than done. However, with the right partners being Excite and SeerBit, you're able to achieve that full visibility and in record time. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Adini, for that question. It's actually a very, very brilliant question. And thank you, Mr. Jason, for answering that, very well as well. Fumilayo, I hope your question, we're actually pressed for time, right? But let me please go ahead and ask your question. This is actually the last question we'll be taking, and then we'll move ahead to the next speaker.
Okay, thank you so much, Gabriela. Thank you so much, Mr. Jason, for that insightful session. So my question would be that beyond faster reconciliation, right? How can real-time payment visibility helps FMCG companies make better decisions around their credit, inventory, and their working capital?
Okay, that is a good question as well. So yeah, so when you talk of how else you look at the ROI, right? The return on investment you get from automation. So you talk about things like accelerated liquidity. You preserve your margins. If you're having a lot of cash flow, you're able to make your margins. Remember that the game of FMCG is high volume, low margins. If you're not collecting your cash fast enough, your margins will be eroded. You also talk about automated precision. It takes away the human error of that bit, and then you can also reallocate your resources into other aspects of the business that require your attention. So those are just some of the things that you benefit by doing this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fumilayo. That is actually another brilliant question. I'm very happy we are all following, it's actually very exciting to see. So I'll be bringing in our next speaker. She'll be taking us on, yes, let's clap for Mr. Jason for the wonderful session and for everybody that has also asked questions. The questions have all been brilliant, and it has actually shown that, Mr. Jason's session was well taken note of, So we'll be going ahead to welcome Ayomide Afolabi. She's the product manager, ISV ERP here at SeerBit, and she's a guru when it comes to ERP, when it comes to ensuring that you have end-to-end visibility, So I'll be welcoming Ayomide Afolabi to have the product demo. So this is going to be more like a practical section where she'll be taking us through our end-to-end flow on one of the business softwares that we are currently integrated on. So everything that Mr. Jason has said, practically, you're going to be seeing it in real time, and we hope that this would, ensure that you achieve end-to-end reconciliation and visibility flow for your business. So thank you, Ayomide. Please, you can go ahead and unmute and share your screen.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. Just as my colleague Gabriela has mentioned, my name is Ayomide Afolabi, and I am the product manager here at SeerBit, managing ELP ISV's integration. So before I get right into my demo, I would like to briefly explain what we'll be looking at today. From my end, I'll be demonstrating how SeerBit as a payments gateway integrates with Odoo. So Odoo is one of the ELPs, business software that businesses use today. So I'll be demonstrating how SeerBit has integrated with Odoo, enabling businesses to collect payments directly against invoice. So this is one of what our plugin on Odoo can do. But for today, I will just show what SeerBit has enabled businesses to do, collecting payment directly against invoice, and also improved, payment visibility and reconciliation. For me, I'll be taking through the end-to-end flow from creating a distributor as a customer in Odoo, assigning them a SeerBit virtual account to the customer, just as how Mr. Jason explained in his demo, creating an invoice, making a payment against that invoice, and even showing how the payment automatically reflects on Odoo. So for those who may not be familiar with Odoo, Odoo is an all-in-one ERP platform that businesses use currently to manage different aspects of their operations, talking from sales to accounting to inventory to procurement, manufacture, even point of sale. So, but for today's demo, I'll be focusing on the invoice and payment flow using a distributor as our example. So let's paint a story so that it looks like a real life scenario. Let's assume I run a business that sells products to multiple distributors. Instead of manually tracking when each of these distributor make payments, that is going to my bank account to check if a particular distributor has paid before we can dispatch his product to that distributor. I can create that distributor as a customer within Odoo. And once SeerBit is integrated into your Odoo, I can associate a static account, a virtual account to that customer. The advantage of that is that each distributor will now have an identifiable account that you can use to map anytime that distributor makes payments into the account. So when a distributor makes payments into that assigned account, SeerBit can identify that, oh, this distributor has paid, and pass that information straight back to Odoo. You don't have to be going to your bank account manually to check for that transaction. Within your all-in-one software, you can get that payment has been made and Odoo will automatically update that invoice manually with the amount that has been paid. If the customer paid less than the invoice amount, the invoice status will be updated to partial payment. If he pays the exact amount required on that invoice, it will be full payment. So I'm going to share my screen, enough of talking, and show you how it works end to end. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I've told her it's possible for it.
Okay, so if you can see my screen, this is how Odoo looks like. Right, this is the SeerBit dashboard within Odoo. Right, so as I mentioned earlier, Odoo allows us to manage different aspects of the business from one platform. If you look at what we can see at this side, we can see the sales, the point of sale, the accounting, the purchase inventory, as I mentioned earlier. But for this use case, we are going to be focusing on a customer, an invoice, and a payment flow. So the first thing I will do, as I said, we create our distributor as a customer. So Ayomide within SeerBit, I will create a customer to say SeerBit distributor. So navigate to payments, create that customer. So I'm going to call this.
I'm sorry, I think your screen is hanging.
Okay, I'm going to reshare my screen. So can you see it now? So as I said, creating the customer. So I'm going to name this customer SeerBit distributor or SeerBit and Excite distributor. Fill in the details of the customer. And I save. So once SeerBit plugin has been successfully integrated into the Odoo, and once you can see SeerBit's virtual account. So once this has been integrated to SeerBit plugin, once I click here, there's automatically a generated account, as I said, for that distributor. So anytime payment is made into this account number for this distributor, Odoo identifies that a distributor has made payments and reconciliation is easy, and we can easily identify that it is this distributor that has made payments. So now that we have our distributor set up and an account number that has been generated for that distributor, I'm going to go ahead to create an invoice. So also the same way I got here, navigate to SeerBit. So now that we're on SeerBit, I'm going to navigate to invoice. So we'll generate an invoice for the SeerBit distributor I just created. SeerBit distributor. I think this one, no, it's not that. I have indicated it. So then I will add the products the distributor wants to get. So let's say the distributor wants to get a whiteboard pen. I'll proceed to add the quantity, the price, and also, save the invoice. So the total amount of the item the distributor wants to get is 200 naira minus tax. Plus tax altogether is 230. So the expectation for the distributor is to pay 230 naira. So I will go ahead to save the invoice and confirm this. So once the invoice has been saved, I will go ahead to sync that invoice with SeerBit. So this invoice has been synced with SeerBit. So let me go ahead to make payments. But before I do that, let me confirm the account number mapped to this distributor. So virtual account. Okay. All right. So let me go back to my invoice. This is the invoice I created. Yes. So I'm going to make payments into that account number, and let's confirm. Let's see how the money will be reflected on Odoo without having to, manually confirm that payment. So I'll go ahead to make a payment of 230 naira from my bank account. So this invoice status currently is not paid. This is a UBA account number. So 30. Money has been sent. It should come in anytime soon. So VA of 230 received into SeerBit, and immediately the status of this invoice updated to paid. So we can see that because we can see that SeerBit plugin allows for automatic updates of the payments. So this is where this integration becomes valuable. The payments is not only collected, the payments information also synchronizes back into the ERP, helping the business maintain the accurate view of all their outstanding and settled invoice at every time. So another flow where this invoice can be paid is in-person payments. A scenario is, let's say a distributor comes physically into the store to pick up his goods. Instead of paying with this virtual account that he can always transfer to every time, if he has his card in person, he can also push that invoice to pay with the terminal. This is a POS machine. So one thing SeerBit's plugin can help you do is to collect, in-person payments. If the distributor comes in and walks in to pick up his goods and he has his card present, you can push that invoice. Jason had mentioned earlier that theft is avoided.
Sorry, Iwai, I don't think we can hear you. Please confirm. Can we please confirm if we can hear Iwai, because you're frozen. Yes, so Mr. Jason, confirm if you can hear Ayomide. Please confirm
No,
if
I
you can hear
can't.
Ayomide.
I can't hear her.
Okay.
Okay, so I can proceed.
Yes.
All right, so back to what I had mentioned. The invoice updated to paid. It's 230 without even reloading the page, and at every time the business owner can know the status of his paid invoice, the invoices that's not been paid or invoices that's not has been paid automatically without even to having to go to your bank account, start to generate bank reports at every time. How much your distributors is owing you and how much has been paid. Each of these payments also reflects on the ledger. So when I navigate back to the dashboard, we can see the SeerBit distributor. We can see how much has been paid. When I enter the journal entry, we can see, from the accounts receivable to SeerBit, it impacts your journal. So at every time, you know how much, you know what is going on in your business. So as I had mentioned, another use case is when a distributor walks in to pick up his good. You can pay for an invoice directly with a POS. I don't know if you can see this. So you can push that invoice to this POS and the theft is avoided if it is not the business owner that is available at that point. The same amount that is pushed from your ERP system is pushed here without having to edit that. So it will reduce the instance of you were supposed to collect 230,000 naira and then somebody paid 2,300 naira. So I'll also run through that process quickly before I hand over back to Gabriela. So just like I did earlier, navigating to invoice, create the invoice for the customer. I think we use SeerBit distributor. Yes. feeling like the product the distributor in this case wants to buy. This is 1,700 with tax altogether is 2,068 naira. Then I'll confirm and save. So as I said earlier, you sync with SeerBit. There's a button here that says send payments to POS. I can come here to click send payments with POS. Your terminal has already been profiled at the back end of your Odo. So I'll select the POS to which I want to make this payment. You will hear the sound when this payment comes in. So I select SeerBit POS and I've sent the payment. Yes, so you can hear that sound. The money has come into the POS. You can see that 2,068 naira 0.85, reducing theft, just as Mr. Jason has rightly said. I'm going to pay this payment, and you see how the status of this payment will automatically update to paid without having to manually do that. So I can click on pay. On the POS, we have different mode of payments. We have card payments, we also have transfers, and we also have USSD. So for the sake of this demo, I'm going to be using card payments, and I will enter. Once I enter, I'm expected to input my card. I'll input my PIN. Payment approved. This has been successful. You can see that automatically the payment is reconciled and saved to Odo, just like the other time. So that will be the end of my demo. That's the end of my end-to-end flow that I want to demonstrate today. So we started by creating a distributor as a customer in Odo. We assigned this dedicated virtual account to that distributor. We created an invoice. The customer made payments into that account created for the distributor. Then I showed you how when the customer made payments, it synchronizes back to Odo without any manual reconciliation, any manual. I also showed you how we impacted the ledger within Odo. So we can see that end to end, instead of businesses having to manage these processes separately, you have a separate way you collect money, you have a separate way for your business software. All of them can work together as a connective payment and a detailed accounting flow. Thank you very much. I will hand over to Gabriela now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ayomide. That was, thank you so much. That session was very, very impactful. That was really good. So we have 2 minutes again to ask Ayomide any questions that want to ask, particular to the demo that she has done. So if you have questions, please raise your hands and I would unmute you, then you can have the floor. And if there are none, we'll likely move over to the next speaker. But I want questions. She showed a lot of flow. She showed the virtual account, and this is something new where you assign virtual accounts, dedicated virtual accounts to specific distributors, and they never have to request for an account again from you. Once they have the account, whenever they receive their invoice, they just have to go ahead. Whenever their invoice is created, they just have to go ahead. Once they receive the invoice via email, or you alert them that their invoice has been created with the amount, all they have to do is go ahead, transfer that specific amount to their invoice, and it's automatically automated and shown on your own end that the invoice has been paid for. And if it is a partial payment that is made, the invoice also alerts you and lets you know that it's partial payment. So there should be questions really. And then she also showed us the in-person payments for people that walk into your store, for distributors that walk into your store. So we need questions for Ayomide. Did you have any questions on the flow, the process, how to start this because it helps you with your end-to-end visibility. It helps you with your reconciliation because invoices are posted and closed immediately, and it helps with end-to-end. At the end of the day, you are sure that your audit's ready and you do not have to spend time manually reconciling and all that. So if there are no questions, I'll go over. I'll be welcoming our next speaker, Abidemi Oladosu, who is our senior enterprise sales manager at SeerBit, to be taking us on real life use cases. So Mr. Jason has spoken on the, what is it called? He has spoken on the payments part, how to see end-to-end reconciliation, how to receive payments, avoid fragmentation. Ayomide has shown us practical steps on how you can achieve that. And Abidemi is coming in to kind of conclude, wrap the whole thing up, and also give us real life use cases of how we have solved this for businesses that exist today. So thank you so much, Abidemi, for joining us today. The floor is yours. And yes, we can see your screen. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gabriela. Thank you very much for every speaker that had spoken. Permit me to start this section by giving you a case, a scenario whereby a distributor of one of the FMCG, Mrs. Shaliwa, she has about 55 million and she wants to place an order for about 500 bags of a product. Let's say 50 million, okay? And then on Monday, she comes to the company, an FMCG company. She went ahead, she placed the order. She didn't receive this order until about the Wednesday evening. Our wholesalers and retailers are currently waiting on it. On Wednesday evening, by the time she got the goods, Thursday morning, the goods were completely sold out. And then on that Thursday, she had to go ahead again and then place another order. Unfortunately, she didn't get this order until Saturday. At the end of the week, she was able to do 100 million. And then for the month, she was able to do 400 million. So imagine that and another scenario. And then imagine that then another scenario whereby on Monday, person was able to pay 50 million. And by Tuesday night, the goods had already been delivered to her. On Wednesday, she had placed another order. And by Thursday, she was already placing another against the Friday. And she was able to do 3 cycles of those orders. And that was to the tune of 150. At the end of the day, it all accrued to the end of the month, it was 600 million. So my question is, what really changed? The machinery did not change. The workers did not change. The only thing that had changed was the efficiency. And that is exactly what they all have been talking about in this section. How payments technology can drive faster collections, smarter reconciliations, and hand-to-hand financial visibility. I will tell you at the end of my section what really happened to those 2 scenarios. So we'll start. The manual model and its implication, which was a lot that Jason had said. I would not like to say that all over again, but for each of all these topics, I will give you use cases. I've been in the FMCG space for quite a while, and at the same time, I'm in a technological company, so I could bring both understanding together for more visibilities and for more knowledge for every one of you in this section. So for fragmented payments channels, I've seen scenarios whereby they would tell me when I was a banker then, and they would say, okay, for every particular account number, that's the payment that have been made through cards. So all of those payments made through cards will definitely be settled to a particular account number. And then for those that have been settled through transfer, they will say it should be paid into another account. In fact, sometimes a different bank entirely. And then POS goes to a different bank. And that's because in their own knowledge, they want to be able to differentiate and say this money is from this product, flour. This other money is from this product, sugar. And then at the end of the day, you will have a designated staff the finance team, whose duty is just to check every payment that has come from that particular bank for the process, for the purpose of those products. At the end of the day, they will be sweating. Sometimes there is unclear narration of which money was this money. And that is what happens. In fact, it makes it very hard for them to see the true picture of the collections. Peradventure, sometimes there must have been disputes in one of those cards. They might not realize until maybe 3 or 4 days later, after when the customer had complained. In fact, I was in a business office one day, and then the customer was telling me that, oh, unfortunately, the man was sitting down there and groaning. I was there to see them for something else. But when I got there and the way the man was speaking, he said he had placed his order for the past 4 days and then he hasn't received his goods. This should not be today where there's technology. Let's go to the audit section. A lot of time, these auditors are always so excited to come to FMCG. And then we all are fidgeting. We shouldn't be in a situations whereby most of all these reconciliations are actually automated. At every point in time where they come, we should be ready to give it to them. But unfortunately, these data are fragmented. Sometimes we have to mock up some of these data, not because you lied, but because you are not able to fix where and where those data were at the point where they come. This should also be eliminated. Manual reconciliation. Why do you have to spend hours? Sometimes their family have to wait till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, because they are in their office trying to reconcile payments. Sometimes they have to have a management meeting. And that brings me to one of the questions, an intelligent question that someone asked. Beyond the fact, forecast, you can decide. Part of the advantage of you having a payment technology is that it helps you to forecast which of the products should an FMCG stop, which of the products should they increase the production, which of them should they decide to, okay, have a town hall meeting with these key distributors and ask them what exactly is the challenge. These are part of the intelligent questions that you can quickly, intelligent options and solutions that this automated reconciliation would do for you. And then limited cross-channel visibility. Absolutely. Seeing something within one visibility, the truth is exceptions can go unnoticed because it is too late. And that is exactly what we are trying to avoid. We are talking about manufacturing business. We are not talking about a one-man business. We are not talking about a retail business. We are talking about a business that is full of complex distributors. You have about branches, about 100 branches. You have about 400 distributors. Tell me, how easy can it be to manually be fixing all of their reconciliations? These payments, it's not like you are not doing the work well. It's not like you are not working hard. But all of these things can actually be done seamlessly. And that's what we are trying to say. To avoid delay collections, manual reconciliations, and limited patch visibility. How does this happen? That is where SeerBit comes in. SeerBit is a payment gateway solution. And what it does is it connects directly to your business and your ERP system. Beautifully, ERP. It's also known as the business software. Every business today have a business software. Be it a small business will use as small as Excel. A big business could use as high as SAP, Oracle, F&O, Sage X3, Sage 300, Sage 50, can use Navision, can use Business Central, can use Oracle, can use Odoo, can use Tally, can use Lovest. The list is so much. In fact, there are some of these that are even unnamed, that they were built by the owners, by the IT of those businesses. We have the ones that most of the ERPs are even cloud-based and can be so difficult. And so this is where SeerBit comes in and say, enough of all these manuals, enough of all this stress for the company. What we have come to do is we have come to synchronize. So we already have some of all these things integrated. We already integrated to some of all these softwares. And what we just say is, if you are using an Oracle today, all we are saying is, be it Oracle NetSuite, whatever the Oracle version is, what we are saying is, all you just have to do when you reach out to SeerBit, all they will do for you is to plug in a payment solution into it. And that means that all of your payments will go to your general ledger. And when it gets to your general ledger and there is visibility, it's going to reduce, it's going to lean the time that it takes to doing this transaction. And this result is evident. We have seen it in so many businesses. The top players of manufacturing businesses today are using it. It's not a place, and we are actually the one that are even maintaining and managing it. I do not want to call their name just because of where we are, but there are several, and some of them even have Salesforce. So good thing is we can partner with your Salesforce, or we can partner directly with your business software. It brings faster cash realization, automated reconciliation, reduce manual errors, and real-time visibility. Real-time visibility. Somebody asked a very, very salient question and say, what exactly is the problem that FMCG has today? It is clear, very, very clear. It is reconciliation. I know of so many FMCGs today that they are really complaining and lamenting to their bankers and saying, I need you to give me bank statements. I need you to give me MT103. I need you to give me MT101. The truth is the bankers can try, but you have a payment gateway solution that can customize every of the solutions to tailoring your needs. So I believe at this point, by the end of this section, a lot of you should consider trying to understand this and reaching out to us. These are the means at which we can do it. Faster collections. Distributors and retailers across business, they all expect fast and frictionless way to pay. And this is what we are saying. See, there are some customers today. I know some of the FMCG that are far back 80 years old. The owners of these distributors, they are grandmas or even mothers. They do not believe in, let me use transfer. They do not even trust their workers. They are so used to check. And no matter whatever they do, they will tell you, please take my check to the bank and make payments for this distribution. All we are saying is no matter the form of payment, you can always trust a payment gateway solution like SeerBit. What we are saying is whether it is through POS, whether it is through check, whether it's through card, whether it's through USSD, whether it is through transfer, or even whether it is from this depot or from this distribution touch points, there's going to be a visibility to every of those things. Aside from that, we can also, what again that's a payment gateway would do for you is payment link. Sometimes you might just need your customer to just press on a link and then make payments, and that is all. This is a very, very straightforward thing that SeerBit can do. Another thing is you have distributors sometimes that you need to give them credit limits, maybe 100 million, a 200 million, a 500 million. Fantastic. We have as a product whereby at the end of the day, they will send the person invoices saying, oh, so and so amounts you need to be credited, recurring payments, and then they will help you. If you had made a credit of 100 million and then the distributor is expected to be paying every month, a recurring payment notification is triggered, and before the end of that month, the person receives the invoice and knows he or she is expected to make the payment. Split settlements, beautiful. I know of some businesses that today, out of the 100 million, they want a particular amount to go to their OPEX account, and then some to their CAPEX account, and some to their revenue account. Beautifully, this is what a payment gateway solution would do for you. Can help you split the settlement accordingly to the ones that tailor best fit you. Another thing is POS. Wow, the beautiful thing about our POS is even with our POS, you can do your transfer. You can do your international payment and using that same POS. Our POS speaks the adequate amount. Except if you don't want it, you can say, oh, I don't want it, just leave it. But then we can customize it such that every payment amount is linked directly to the POS, and whatsoever payment is being made goes straight into the general ledger without you having to manually punch or try to put any number. It cannot be altered. And this also helps you to eradicate theft in a situations like that. International payments. Today, PayPal, we are one of the business payment gateway that has them as our own checkout. It is not in any other places. I don't want to really speak so much because of my time. I go to the reconciliation and to the end-to-end visibility. What I was trying to explain to you in the months of all of these collections is that no matter how you make that payment, you can always see it from one checkout. What I'm saying about the real-time visibility is that with just one platform, you can see every of your multiple disconnected accounts. I'm talking about a financial operation whereby your payment is automatically matched to the right customers. Today, every of your distributors should have a unique identifier. They should have. We just finished integrating with one of the noble manufacturers of today, and the person recorded about achievement of 20% increase in their production and even up to about 30% boost in their sellout volume. What happened? There were transparency. They could make quick decision. They could give their customers service, good service delivery. And that is what we are saying. And how did they do it? They were able to match the orders with the use of that virtual account to the right customers. And that dovetailed into the order system in the business software. The business software could be, like I mentioned, the SAP, the Business Central, and likes. In fact, the hospital management software, we can. The school management software, we can. And then automated reconciliation and not manual reconciliation. Payments are matched and closed out effortlessly. I am not saying that all this finance team will be sacked. No, but they will be doing intelligent things. They would be there to match the figures, the data. At every point in time, the management can make decision. Are we paying our dividends? Yes or no? They can see the visibility of the money. If they want to place an FX order today and they reach out to the bank or even to our company, whatever, what they just need to do is to check their real-time visibility and know that, oh, so and so people have paid an amount of money into their wallet, and they are certain that, yes, they have this cash to decide to make quick decisions. Finance teams get live settlement and transaction status without waiting on manual bank reconciliation. A bank reconciliation is expected to give you a reconfirmation, not the one you have to depend on for your suppliers. This is by integrating directly into the system software and matching the distributors either through the accounts or through the POS, through the invoicing, and through the credits. I'm telling you, the clear settlement record is there. It is traceable at every transactions. I have been in situations whereby when I was in my past life, they will tell me, please, can you help us identify who sent this money to us? And then we begin to trace. We have to send it to NIPS, and then they will come back. And there is customer there who is out of stock, and then he's saying, I have paid. But you cannot go ahead because you also don't trust humans. And then because the visibility of who paid is not there, there is a lot of time wasting, which is what we are saying that it can be solved using this technology. Single source of truth. I have known this thing for quite a while now, and even while I sleep or I'm awake, I will keep telling everyone that finance team needs a single accurate source of truth for their reporting, for their forecasting from their software. Going back to the story that I once narrated to you from the beginning, this is what I'm saying. So the manual order to cash, the customer paid. What had happened that time that took them to Wednesday is because when the customer paid, they paid through various channels and they paid through various accounts, and they had multiple statements. The bank account officer that was supposed to give them the statements was on the field, came back in the evening, and they had a downtime. And what happened was they now had to eventually give it to them late at night. This person had to manually match this payment, and that was why there was delayed reconciliation, which led to 3 days. But today, the other person that was able to do 3 times what had happened was the customer payments came, and then through SeerBit, it was able to push it directly to the ledger, to the general ledger, and there was visibility at real time. And then they were able to identify the transaction. Automated reconciliation went to their business software. The settlement was done almost instantly, and we had financial reporting. It gave them a transaction record. It gave them easy matching of the payment. It gave them reduced manual intervention. It gave them a faster identification of exceptions, and they were able to resolve it. It simplifies settlement tracking. I would like to stop here. In conclusion, I would say the future of payments is not just about accepting money. I would say that again, and I want you to take this home, every one of you. The future of payments is beyond just collecting money. What we are saying is this money needs to be collected faster. The reconciliations have to be smarter. And at every point in time, knowing exactly where the money is at every stage of the financial journey. I'll end with this quote: one API, multiple payment channels, multiple markets, multiple places, but just one view, and everyone is home. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Abidin. Thank you so much, Abidin. Please move. Thank you so much, Abidin. Somebody is saying. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, thank you so much, Abidemi, for that. For your session. It was very, very power-packed. I think all our speakers have done justice and have done well, starting from Mr. Jason to Ayomide to Abidemi, all very thrilling sessions, right? They've been able to keep the attention of our speakers. This is one of the first webinars that, I am hosting or I have been part of where the exact number of people that started the webinar with you, are almost the same people that, stay with you through the end, because we had about, I think I saw like 25, 26 people in attendance, and we still have 22, even at 1 hour, 30 minutes, after the session has started. So it means that our speakers did justice to this webinar. It means that the people that also attended, not taking away from our attendees, means that the people that attended are we're very, very intentional about picking learnings from this particular webinar, and is actually very, very is actually very recommendable, right? So thank you so much to all the speakers, Mr. Jason, Mrs. Abidemi, and Ms. Ayomide. Thank you so much, guys, for having us. I think I'm going to open the floor now to our audience. We want to hear from them. If you have questions, even the speakers, you can ask each other questions. Let's just have, a collaborative session for about 5 minutes before we call this a day, because I know that we've been here for about an hour, 30 minutes, and everyone, we all have individual things that we have to do. So let's just have a quick 8 to 10 minutes Q&A session before we wrap this up. Questions? You can throw your questions to anybody. It could be to Ayomide, it could be to Jason, it could be to Abidemi. Let's just have questions, quick questions to the audience. We also love to hear from you. And even if you don't have questions, contributions, tell us about some of the current pain points that you face. Let us know if this webinar has truly, solved that, if this webinar added value to you. If it didn't, tell us, give us areas of improvement on, from your real life experiences on things. So we can also learn from each other, right? It's not just one way, it's both ways. So if you have real life challenges or you have questions or you've experienced this, but you want to know how to go about it, how to solve it, if we have a solution that can solve it, you can also, come up, just turn on your mic and speak. Let's just have that session for about 8 to 10 minutes before we wrap it up. So I'll be expecting questions. Thank you. You can put your hands up. If you don't want to speak, I believe there's a chat box. You can drop your questions there. There's also a question and answer box where you can drop your questions, and I would read that, and one of our speakers, any of our speakers can pick it up to answer. Okay, can raise your hands, can unmute, go ahead and speak. Okay, I can see someone trying to speak. Thompson.
Not actually. All right. Okay, let me just ask a question. Is this application on Odoo ecosystem?
Yes, Thompson. When you go to Odoo Marketplace, you can search for SeerBit and you will see the plugin there. You can also even search for on your Google, you can search for Odoo_SeerBit. It will bring out SeerBit plugin and it can be downloaded. We also have a video, I think, on YouTube on how to properly install the plugin and start receiving payments with SeerBit.
All right.
Does that answer
Thank you
your
very
question,
much.
Thompson?
Yes, it does.
But the first step to this is signing up on SeerBit. So you can sign up on SeerBit. I think somebody can drop the sign up link on the chat box. So the first step is signing up with SeerBit. So you can sign up, fill in your details because it's an integration. We'll need like a keys. So when you sign up, everything will be provided for you.
All right.
Thank you very much, Thompson.
Another question is, what is your partnership level with other consultants or someone who might be interested in maybe marketing or implementing your program?
Can you take that question again? Sorry, Thompson.
What is your partnership program like for maybe a consultant or someone who might be interested in reselling your product?
Thank you so much, Mr. Thompson. Yes, we do have a partnership program for consultants and technical partners. So if you can kindly drop your name and your phone number on the chat box, we'll reach out to you and then we'll give you the full details. And this also applies to any other person that is a consultant here or an implementer and you want to know about our technical program. We do have a technical program in SeerBit, and it's a technical program where it's not one-sided, it's both ways, right? You are earning and we are earning. So if you're interested, just kindly drop your name and your phone number in the chat box and we'll take it from there and let you know all about our technical partnership. So Mr. Thompson, please, if you can drop just your name and your phone number and every other thing that we'll need, we'll get it from you there. If that answers your question, and if it doesn't, you can shed more light and I'll be sure to answer your question.
All right, that's good. I will.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. So the previous, okay, I think it was also Mr. Thompson that asked about where you can find our plugin on Odoo. My colleague Uchechukwu just dropped the dashboard links for those that are looking to signing up and becoming SeerBit merchants, because for you to access any of our plugins across the various business softwares that we have integration in, you have to become a partner, because like Ayomide rightfully said, is an integration and we'll need your public key and private key to connect that leg together. So you can sign up to become a SeerBit partner, but be sure that, or you can just visit our website and sign up. You will see this, or you also see a customer support number that you can reach out to, and we'll pick up the conversation from there. So any more questions?
I think the chat is not enabled. Says it's only enabled by admin.
Okay, Mr. Thompson, did you register for this event ahead of time? Because if you did, I'm sure we would have your details. So just let
I
me know.
actually don't know. I didn't know how you got my official email. So I
Okay.
just saw the message and okay, have let me participate. So, but I didn't know how you got my email. I must tell you the truth.
Okay.
But I think I can reply the mail you sent to me. Then through that, we can communicate.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. I'm sure we'll find your,
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. I think the allotted time is far spent, and in the absence of none, we would like to, SeerBit and Excite Financial would like to thank everybody that attended to this session. Thank you so much to the speakers. Thank you so much to the audience. It was very, very impactful, and we hope to, have this session. Please expect more of this from us coming across different sectors. Today we touched mostly distributors, supply chain, manufacturers. So if you have any retail businesses, for retailers, just express this across various sectors. We'll be having this session. At least we'll try to have it once every month with our partner Excite, and we'll see how we are hoping that this grows to become a very powerful community and force. And we are here to always willing to give you value and ensure that you achieve end-to-end financial visibility across your distribution channel. So in the absence of none, or before, let me ask our speakers if they have any more or any last words for us. Any last words from our speakers? Mr. Jason, do you have any last words for us? Mrs. Abidemi, do you have any last word for us? And Ms. Ayomide?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Gabriela. So what I'll say is this has been a very insightful event, and I would like to thank the team that put this together. Closing out, I would say, of course, Excite is a business with a lot of experience in implementing enterprise grade workflows across all businesses. So if you're looking to have a strong partner that is experienced in integrations and enterprise level compliance, we are always a phone call away. So thank you, everyone, and I hope you have had a very insightful event. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Gabriela, for this opportunity. Again, I will just drop a hook for everybody that if our factories can actually be automated, why shouldn't your payments be automated? Think about this, ponder on it, especially when you know that it's going to be efficient for your business operation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jason and Abidemi. Any more key takeaways from our speakers? Ayumi, did you have any for us? Okay. In the absence of none, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you once again to our speakers and our wonderful audience. And you will surely be getting an email from us. And there's a little freebie that will be coming with the next email that you'll be getting from us. So just be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much, everyone, and do have a blessed day. Thank you. Bye for now. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.